This case takes place in the USA in the year 2024. On the 4th of December, the CEO of UnitedHealth was shot and killed by an unknown man. But that unknown man has recently been caught. Luigi Mangione. This is a name that will likely now dominate headlines. But who is this 26-year-old man at the center of this high-profile crime? Here is what we know about him. Luigi was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. He grew up incredibly privileged, and his family is rather wealthy. His grandfather Nicholas built a local real estate empire that included nursing home facilities around Maryland, along with 2 country clubs in the Baltimore suburbs. His family also runs a family foundation that has nearly $4.5 million in assets. Growing up, it seems that Luigi began struggling with serious chronic back issues, and he would frequently take to social media to talk about his chronic pain. But by all accounts, he was a gifted and ambitious individual. Luigi excelled academically. He attended a private high school, and later attended the University of Pennsylvania, where he majored in computer science and even co-founded a game development club that attracted dozens of members. It became widely popular among the students there. Those who knew Luigi described him as being highly intelligent. One person said, "He was just a normal frat guy. He played beer pong, and lots of girls found him hot." Around 2022, Luigi moved to Hawaii, where he lived for around 6 months at a co-working and co-living space in Honolulu. But soon into the move, Luigi was involved in a surfing accident, and this is when his back pain began to worsen. He wrote on Reddit, "My back and hips locked up after the accident. Intermittent numbness has become constant, and I am terrified of the implications." Luigi's online presence shows that he had been dealing with serious chronic back issues, and thus, he may have run into issues with the horrific practices of insurance companies, and maybe in particular UnitedHealth, which is one of the worst. He began reading several books related to back pain management, and he had to undergo multiple surgeries to help fix his issues. In one post on social media, he shared an X-ray image of his spine. Reports also indicate that Luigi had a keen interest in anti-capitalism and philosophical literature. This was discovered in his online activity. Meanwhile, his social media posts suggested a dissatisfaction with social systems. He had reportedly read works like Industrial Society and Its Future, written by Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber. This book was Ted's manifesto. Ted Kaczynski was the man who for nearly 2 decades mailed deadly bombs to those trying to advance technology. Luigi even left a review for this book. In his review, Luigi wrote, "It's easy to quickly and thoughtlessly write off this manifesto as the work of a lunatic. He was a violent individual, rightfully imprisoned, who maimed innocent people. But while these actions tend to be characterized as those of a crazed Luddite, they should be more accurately seen as those of an extreme political revolutionary." Luigi even debated someone about the ideas of political violence and Ted Kaczynski. When speaking about Ted Kaczynski, he said, "At least he had the balls to recognize that peaceful protest has gotten us absolutely nowhere, and that the phrase, 'violence never solves anything,' is a statement uttered by cowards and predators." His Goodreads account also included other titles focusing on social critiques, a deep hatred for modern structures and systematic inequality, likely leading to what happened on the 4th of December. There is also some news about how the insurance companies treated one of his relatives. Apparently, he hated the medical insurance community because they treated a sick relative of his horrifically. It's unclear who this relative was, but it is known that 2 of his grandparents passed away in the last few years. Luigi was an active social media user. He would post photographs of his travels, his gym routine, and the various health challenges he faced, mainly his back problems. But then, earlier this year, Luigi stopped posting online. His friends tried to reach out. One of them said, "Nobody has heard from you in months, and apparently your family is looking for you. I hope you are okay." And then, in late November, just weeks before the shooting, another user posted to Luigi, saying, We are thinking of you and praying every day in your name. Just know that you are loved and missed." On the 4th of December 2024, Luigi fatally shot the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, in Midtown Manhattan. Brian had left his hotel at 6:45 a.m. and started walking towards the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. This was to attend a meeting with the UnitedHealthcare board members and investors. They had made record profits on the backs of other people suffering. Brian was only meters away from the Hilton door when Luigi approached. He was wearing dark-hooded clothing, disguised with a face mask. Luigi maneuvered between a black SUV and entered the footpath no more than 15 feet behind Brian. At 6:46 a.m., he pulled out a 9mm silenced pistol and unleashed a series of bullets into Brian. Brian immediately collapsed in agony and began to bleed out. After the shot ceased, Luigi approached Brian as he lay on the floor. He then gave him one prolonged look and fled from the scene. Meanwhile, Brian was attended to by several members of the public, and a police unit was dispatched. A medical care unit arrived at the scene and rushed Brian to hospital. However, he was soon pronounced dead. Surveillance photos were then shared widely across social media. Luigi had a cheeky flirt with a clerk at the hostel he was staying in Manhattan, and had exposed his face. Luigi then fled New York, sparking a nationwide manhunt. The authorities tracked him down, leading to his capture just days later. Luigi was apprehended in a McDonald's restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania, following a multi-day search. When the police found him, they told him that he would be arrested if he lied about his name. Luigi then admitted that he was who the police thought he was. Upon giving the police his name, he became quiet and began to shake. He was then asked if he had recently been to New York City. The authorities located him using the surveillance footage, along with tips from the public. At the time of his arrest, Luigi was in possession of a ghost gun, an untraceable firearm. He was also taken into custody without any incident. He was caught with the ghost gun that uses 9mm bullets, a silencer, along with a US passport, 4 fake IDs with the names used during the killer's stint in New York City, along with a manifesto. The manifesto was 2.5 handwritten pages, filled with quotes that Luigi had posted to his Goodreads account. Many quotes were taken from the Unabomber. In this manifesto, he also wrote, "These parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done." The fact he said, "these parasites," implies that he intended to kill more before being caught. However, this is not certain at the time of writing this video. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has said, "This is a strong person of interest. He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He is also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident." If you're new to this story, I'll quickly explain who Brian was. In 2004, Brian Thompson joined the UnitedHealthcare Group, a company that is known for being one of the largest companies in the Fortune 500. By 2021, Brian had risen to the rank of CEO, overseeing a global workforce of 140,000 people. He owned a large mansion in Maple Grove, Minnesota, where his offices were, and earned over $10 million annually. The company, along with Brian, have recently been involved in some incredibly shady practices, and the company has a long history of trying to not pay their customers' health bills, leading to many innocent people dying. The company allegedly aims to make profit by not paying out its customers. I also just want to say that being from the UK, I really had no idea about the overwhelming frustrations at the healthcare insurance industry. From what I could tell online, the killings seem to rather divide people, but to be honest, it does seem that the left, centre and right wing are pretty much united in their lack of sympathy for Brian. After releasing the first video of this case, the comment section left me rather surprised by the overwhelming support for the killer from all sides of the political spectrum. In the UK, healthcare is very different, and I haven't experienced having to beg an insurance company to provide me life-saving care. From reading some of your stories in the previous video, where some of you have experienced extreme trauma due to health insurance, I can see and understand why so many people seem to have close to no sympathy for Brian, apart from his 2 sons, who now grow up without a father in their lives. And so, I own up to not fully understanding how things work in the USA. Also, just a thing to mention, while I was researching the video, I did notice that someone had actually changed Brian's Wikipedia profile, though this change was very brief. It read, Brian was the Chief Executive Officer of the insurance arm of the UnitedHealth Group from April 2021 until his death in December of 2024, after divine intervention enforced by a faithful servant of God. He is currently burning in hell because of his sins towards the people, and serves as a warning to the other parasites like him. As I said, this was changed back very quickly. One friend who knew Luigi said that they are incredibly sad, and said that they can make no sense of what happened. This friend lived with him in Hawaii, and remembers him being friendly and thoughtful. Since the news broke, private security guards are now blocking access to Luigi's family's house on a golf club. In a statement released, the family said that they are shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. And now I shall finish on this rather strange detail. On X, his profile features a Pokemon. This Pokemon is Breloom. Breloom's Pokédex number is 286. If you then look at the Bible and look at Proverbs 286, it reads the following. Better is the poor who walks with his integrity than he who is crooked, though he be rich.